You to meet our entrepreneurs for the day. Take a listen to our guests, and we're going to be tracking their journey as we always do with all our guests, finding out how they got into business, this particular business, and how they've been finding it. It is Capital 100.4 FM. Harare zabit. Unoziva kana mvunzo chako poshira mvunzo wako umwewo udzidze chimwe chinhu chaunongoda kuresearch panyaya yebusiness ravo vakazvifambisa sei. Vision is also still here if you also want to engage and understand a little bit more about AI. Jose.
We're not going anywhere. Harare is our territory. Capital 100.4 FM at 8. Harare's heartbeat. Hashtag dominate.
Why is this audio low? That cable.
And we deliver flowers, beautiful arrangements, and gifts to your loved ones in Harare and across the country. So you can order from
That
within the
audio
country or
is
outside the
low.
country. We also do arrangements for events. So the business has been going strong since 2013. It was started by my husband, Farai.
Cable yenyu yema audio.
And been going for over a decade now. I came on board after we got married a few years ago.
Maybe let's try from here. So it sounds like we're having a little bit of connectivity challenge there. I was keen on you to meet our business for the day, and she was narrating how she started the business. So let's give this another shot. Let's see if you might be able to hear this a little bit better if I use a different channel. Still listening to you, 0719 100 when you are thinking of AI, how are you integrating AI into your business?
Hello, this is Farai Bvunzawabaya. I'm with Marua Zim, that's Marua with a W. We are an online florist with a delivery service that operates nationwide across Zimbabwe. And we deliver flowers, beautiful arrangements, and gifts to your loved ones in Harare and across the country. So you can order from within the country or outside the country. We also do arrangements for events. So the business has been going strong since 2013. It was started by my husband, Bvunzawabaya, back then, and been going for over a decade now. I came on board after we got married a few years ago. You know, it needed a feminine touch, and still does. We are still growing, still developing. He actually started it when he was, he identified a gap in the market after trying to send flowers to Mama from abroad, and he wasn't able to find a florist that could help him in Zim from abroad at the time. Maybe they were there, but they were just not easy to find. So we've, with his IS background, that's information systems, he ended up making the business fully functional from an online platform, and we've been delivering flowers to loved ones and gifts ever since.
And that is our guest for today on Big Business Pep Talk, a husband and wife who are in an unusual business, an online floral store. And they're joining us this morning in studio. Good morning to you, Farai and Tai. Thank you so much for being on Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. Now, normally it is, the more we do these conversations, the more I'm starting to realize that indeed being entrepreneur is not just about thinking, how do I make more money? It is solving a problem. And this is exactly what it sounds like, Tai, you did when you set up this business years ago. Why maybe chicha kaitika kutuzoti aiwaka ndakutoita riri bizimusi Ramarova. Good morning.
Good morning, FoLake. Good morning, everyone. When I was away, I went visiting my sister in America, I think in 2011. When I was that side, I decided to send. It was Valentine's Day. I decided to send flowers to my mother. She, unfortunately, my dad passed away, so I tried to make sure that she's fine on Valentine's Day. So when I tried to do that, there was no florist at all. that delivered flowers in Zim. What we did have were traditional florists where you walk into a shop and then you get flowers delivered. So when I was outside, I decided when I get back to Zim, I'm going to so I made the whole website and everything. When I get back to Zim, I'm going to talk to local florists and add that platform to their business. So I did not want to be a florist, but I wanted to give a florist an additional way of income. So I came here with that idea, but unfortunately the florist didn't understand what I was talking about because I didn't want to be involved in the flowers themselves. So I went to a couple of florists with a traditional setting and tried to tell them that this brings additional business to you. People, because now we've got a lot of diasporians, so those people like me then didn't have a way to get things delivered in Zim. And I realized that there were a lot of people like that, but I didn't make any headway. So I decided to then get on the ground, really see what's complicated. I think that's one thing as entrepreneurs. We always think that a business is complicated, but we are all similar. If you look at anyone's business and you get enough time with it, you can really dissect it and realize that anyone can do it. We are all people. We can actually navigate and do something. So I decided to, just research on flowers and what's really going on in this market. So I had a whole good month of doing that, and then I decided to go do the whole process myself.
Offering an online service. It was 2013, wasn't it? What was the issue, do you think?
Yes.
It wasn't quite the internet age yet, I think. We were a bit...
Yeah.
We weren't there yet.
Then talking about websites and things like that was complicated for people trying to understand exactly. It was now the diasporians that understood that no, there's websites, we can do this thing online. But when I actually started, I had low sales locally from Zimbabwe. Most of my sales were diasporians buying, and then them buying and posting and saying we've done this. That's when the local market, and it's not just we cannot say just the florists themselves. Even us as Zimbabweans, they're buying of flowers and making sure your person's happy, not just on Valentine's Day, but then on a day.
Yeah.
Wasn't really a culture 10 years ago. It was more of, a European thing, I can say.
So you said your market initially was mainly like you. How did they get to hear about you? Because this is where Zimbabweans, like Nigerians, we are everywhere. Even in Ukraine, you will find Zimbabweans, right?
Yes.
So how did you get Zimbabweans out there to appreciate that your business is there, and that when they want to send flowers, is it just flowers or you can send other things?
Flowers and any gifts.
And any gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like we say any gifts because you're out there. Let's say you are selling cakes for I'll be like, I've got a customer that's looking for cakes. Talk to a person that does cakes. So you really do not have to limit yourself. Even if they say they want a new car, I'm just going to go to a place where they sell cars and say, I've got a customer that wants cars. This is what they want. Then get that information back to my customer. So we are not limited really. Whatever anyone wants, we try and make sure that their gifts is exactly how they want it.
Right.
So how I marketed outside was Facebook mostly. The social media was because social media was also well grounded in diasporian countries then. So what Facebook allows you to do, which I can tell my fellow entrepreneurs, you can dissect or you can drill into a country and say, I want to market to people in the USA or in New York only. And you also say Zimbabweans, or you also say people that like Japanese, and you also say people that like Zimbabwe, people that similar liking. So you can really make your ad specific to those people. Right. So that's when people get confused why why something is going there, well, some ad keeps coming to them, because you can really target a person exactly where they are and what they like. And that's what I did. I made sure that everyone similar like me and other and in other other sectors, I made sure that I talk to those people, and my ads, those people are the ones that sold them.
Right. So you spent about a month doing market research, trying to understand this industry, my flower.
Yeah.
And I'm sure now I don't go to no, actually I don't have to do this. So in your studies, in your research, how then did you decide who your niche audience was? Or you'd already decided who your niche was before you started the business?
Yeah, before I already understood that diasporians didn't have
Right.
the way to send flowers. There was what they called interflora back then, where if you're in Europe, you go to a florist, and then they'll call a florist here in Zimbabwe and say, "What? This person that's here, can you deliver the flowers?" So that system was more or less what was happening in Zimbabwe. You go to a traditional florist in the UK, and then you tell them you want to send flowers to Zimbabwe. So they had made a network where you then call someone they knew in Zimbabwe and give them the details.
Yeah.
But now that was, it was evolving now. So that's another thing that I also wanted to talk about, that to survive in business, you have to be flexible. So most of the florists then didn't see that things progress. So any entrepreneur should never get comfortable in whatever business they are. They have to continuously innovate. So that's what I was trying to tell my my peers, the traditional florists, that we're now innovating. This calling and going, because a customer in the UK has to physically go to a shop,
right,
and then the shop has to physically call Zimbabwe and make this order happen. But now we're saying you can do it in the comfort of your own home. Just go on a website, buy, and everything is done. So
you need to have obviously a reliable chain of suppliers. Yes. How do you make that a seamless transaction? Because mama business I can deliver goods. I can be your courier, for example, from say South Africa. But between you getting the product you've ordered and the process, it may take too long, and it's never their fault, and it is the supplier's fault. So how do you make sure, if you say you're going to get orchids, they're going to arrive one and two, you make sure that happens then?
Yeah, that's very, very important, the point you point out there. What I try to do, we also just don't do flowers. That's one thing. Zimbabwe, you need to have a few revenue incomes. So when I start a business and when I try to do any business, you need to get your gloves off, literally go on the ground, supplier by supplier, getting your best price, getting reliability. You're going to fail one or two people that will let you down. But if you go on the ground and you have 5 options that you have, and you get the best prices, and as in by going on the ground, I'm saying, like, let's say your business is selling kettles, and you order them in Harare. I mean, you come back from you come from Murewa there, you get into town, you go shop by shop looking for all the kettle shops that you can find, until you get the best price, until you get the reliability you're looking for from all the suppliers, and then you've got a list and a database. I can never point that point enough. A database is probably the most important thing any business can have. You need to have your suppliers, you need to have your customers even on a database.
Yeah.
Once you do that, your business is more likely going to be successful.
So now you've got your database, you've got your suppliers, then what? Do you then arrange the bouquet yourself? How exactly does your online store work?
So how I started was, when I did that market research, I realized I didn't have to make the flowers myself. So on the first day, we launched on a Valentine's Day in 2013. So I marketed to people abroad, and they bought flowers already. And then I went to the vendors by a market square. Those are the guys that prepared my flowers for the first time. Whilst I did that, people abroad told their friends locally that, why aren't you buying flowers for your people? There's this person. So then the local guys started coming to Market Square also to get flowers also. So I didn't make flowers first. If in a business you can try test it out without a lot of investment. That would be very good, because my investment really was my IT skills, which was my website, and then the idea that I had. So I realized I could use vendors. I could, see if this thing is going anywhere. So when I did that, it was a very successful first day. And after that, I realized now, like I'm saying, you need to know your suppliers. I realized I also, as the owner of the business, need to learn how to arrange and do this. So I went to a flower school where I learned how to do everything, so that I understood. Because it's also a mistake we do as entrepreneurs, that you start a business, but you don't know the ins and outs of it. So I wanted to know exactly what's really going on flowers. How does everything work? So I understood that, and I made flowers maybe for the first year or two, and then I then employed someone to do that, so that I could use my mind to grow the business.
So how big is the space that you use? You had to do it from home, I guess?
No, I first, lucky, when you're starting a business, try to look for people or family or friends that can help you, so that your market, your expenses aren't that high. So I had an uncle that had an office, so I bought some office space from him. So I was there for a year rent free, whilst I was trying to make up what I was doing. And when finally I was moving, then I started paying for rent and stuff there. But it was more of trying to keep my costs very, very low, because that's what drags a startup down. Cost.
Rent, magetsi, vashandi, supplier.
If you can actually do it from home.
Big way too early. Like all of a sudden, you don't want to be the one arranging the flowers. You need to employ someone right away. No, keep the costs low.
Right. We're talking this morning to Farai and Tai, who are into business. They set up a business in 2013. That's almost 13 years ago, which is a florist online business. In fact, they do gifts as well. And we're tracking their journey into how they started this initiative. Pandakanga ndiri kwamakungwa ndaida kutumira mai vangu maruva pavalentines ndokushayiwa munhu waikwanisa kuti ndiri ikoko ndisati zvekutuma vatete kuti ndiyamutenga maruva. And he then decided, well, why not approach local florists here, because of his educational background, to set up a system where someone outside Zim can actually order flowers online. Kwai ndakatambura kuwana kana one florist akaona zvichimeka sense mazuva iwayo akati ndiri kushushikira niko, let me set this business up. And that's exactly what he did. And he was just telling us there that in setting up the business, akanoti no, akatanga ambodzidza amborava hwisa kuti mari vachanombofamba sei, anowanikwepi, found the best suppliers, built relationships with them, and he said he started using social media to market his business. And he said something very interesting. Okay, my adverts andaisa pa Facebook, ndaitomaudza vanhu vandaida kuti ainde kwavari. And I wonder, if you use social media ads, are you also very specific about your target audience? Kana uchinongomwaya uchingoti ameno chero ndaita 20,000 views, but you're not actually clear about who you want to connect with your product. And he was saying kuti pandakataka FoLake ndaitota ndiri ndoga handina kukumba vanhu vakawanda kuti vaite, because I wanted to keep my costs low, because as an entrepreneur, this is where most businesses collapse, because you've got too many overheads. Wotadza kuramba uchindira mberi nebusiness because mari inenge yapera. We're going to continue understanding a little bit more about an online store. We want to figure out also, did Tai have any mentors to help him along his journey? And we also want to find out, now that he's married, what's it like to be in business with your spouse? Has it also been easy for you being in business with your partner, with your spouse? We want to find out how to navigate business as a couple.
Calculate. We elevate. We innovate. But above all, we dominate. Capital 100.4 FM at 8. Harari's heartbeat. Hashtag dominate.
And isn't it also fascinating just listening to Tai giving us an insight into how he set up a business, how really a lot of the problems that we have in our day-to-day life, truly we can solve them by then daring and choosing to be the person who comes up with the solution. How many times as you're going through the day can you see a gap somewhere, ndikwanisebo kusolve a problem inenge iripo, and you can actually go ahead and set up an enterprise in that regards, just like he did when he saw a gap in a florist industry to provide flowers online and gifts. Let me go right ahead and do this. So until now, Ty, you do not have a retail shop.
When I try to go local, I realized that you need to have it's not a retail shop, it's an office where when you're starting in Zim,
Right.
so local customers vanoda kuziva kuti ndaenda ndikanosira ndingi mari yangu. So I do have an office that I operate, but you don't get any flowers there. It's really for you to put your payments. So how we work really is you get your flowers online, you get onto our website, you buy the flowers, you're supposed to make your order, you pay online, but some of our local customers want to come to the office, so you can come to the office and then pay. Once you've paid, we've got a whole order fulfillment process that happens in the background where you receive your order, our delivery guys go around, like you say, if you said you wanted to get a car, they're now going to look for a car and make sure that whatever you want on your gift, you provide, and then they then take it to your recipient and we deliver. That's basically how we work.
How easy has it been to set up an online payment method?
Right now, things are actually way easier now for like because of I think Facebook and WhatsApp. They've allowed people to start business. Me, I had to do it traditionally and build these things myself at the beginning. But now, you can use WhatsApp Business to really put your business out there. And I think it should be taking payments soon. And also, there's now mobile payments like EcoCash. And even if you don't have a payment gateway, you can actually use Mukuru and all those.
So vanhu vaitonomira mukiu yemukuru to budise mari or any other?
No, mine's where they're automated where you just use your bank card.
Right.
Yeah,
from abroad.
Yeah, from abroad, you even locally with local banks, you can still just use your bank. There are actually payment gateways in Zimbabwe where they allow you to put payment gateways on your website. So
I suppose for you it was easier because you are into information systems. Look at the team like I said, na vision. Tisina ISOE, tingoli AI jet.
So that's what I'm saying. Now, if you want to start easily, you can use mobile money. Where you say you want to buy from me, I give you my mobile details and then you just send EcoCash to me and then that's finished. Or if you're abroad, you can send Mukuru. That's an easy way of doing it if you don't have the IT side. Otherwise, you are now looking for a developer to do that for you.
Why Marua?
The name. It was simple. It's flowers. So I didn't want to make it complicated. I was just trying to say, I'm selling flowers. These are flowers. Yeah.
But now, if you're diversifying, doesn't that then only sound like Marua?
That is why when our tagline is we're talking about gifts, that we deliver gifts and flowers across Zimbabwe and abroad also. So we've also done that even everyone now has family abroad. So you can actually now come to us or on our website, say, I want to buy flowers for someone in the UK. Then all we do is we are fulfilling orders basically. So we are now talking to our UK counterparts, like I told you about Interflora. We've got this person that wants flowers. We want them delivered on this day to this person. Then they do that just like we do for them.
So Farai, you then married into Marua. It was already set up, it was already established, and you said, it needed a feminine touch. Tell us a little bit about that. Joining a vision that's already established, and I think like most people, when you set up a project on your own, it's your baby. You have a different attachment to it in comparison. Someone says, "Oh, come, let's tweak things. Let's change things a little bit." Talk to us about this feminine touch and what's it been like being in business with your partner, with your husband.
It's great being in partnership with my husband. He's my favorite person, so that works well. And in terms of the feminine touch, it just needed certain tweaks that, particularly when it comes to client interaction, when it comes to sort of the user interface, as he calls it. So just your experience. I mean, the products, the system, all of that is as is, but it's more about just tweaking your experience, how you feel leaving after the experience. Quality control, let me call it that. Quality control. And so practically that looks like tweaking the broadcast or advertising messages that we send out on just before Valentine's Day, just before Mother's Day. That looks like tweaking the rating system. It looks like tweaking some of the bouquets here and there. So it's just the feminine touch.
Let's talk about these broadcast messages, because they can feel like spam, right? When somebody's sending you a broadcast message, you're caught between being polite but also saying, hey, my message is anyaya. What do you think in the messaging has worked for you, for somebody who has to do marketing through broadcast messages?
I think it's about knowing the client. So they are broadcast messages, but we still kind of try to tailor them to whoever we are sending to. So, and tailor them to the event. So it's touching the heart of the matter. If it's Valentine's Day, then we discuss who, like, remind them that they love these people. It's reminding them why they would want to buy these flowers. I'd say that.
Yes. Touching on that. You see, when I told you about the database, so when we started in 2013, all our customers have been keeping these people, and that's actually what the value is of Maruwa. That on any given event, we can talk to those people that we know. So we basically remind you that you bought flowers for your mother on Mother's Day last year. Do you want to buy again? So you're not really going to be angry at that message, because we're actually reminding you that you are a customer. We're not just sending to a random person saying, guys, we are selling flowers. Does anyone want to buy?
Yeah.
No, we are speaking.
So are you waiting for every Valentine's Day?
We actually do not talk to our customers. We are just sending, because WhatsApp is nice now. You put statuses. So every time we deliver our flowers, we are putting statuses on. So you see this. So now you as a customer, you can decide that I don't want to see these statuses. But that's how we remind our customers that we are there, by just continuous updates of our social media and our WhatsApp status, just to remind them that we are still delivering. If there's anything happening, we are here. But I myself don't like spam. So because of that, I think I really manage it well. I only use our database to things that our customers have actually used before, asked about before. And that also, that actually goes back to Vision's side of things. And AI actually helps on things like that, where you can, if your database is on Excel, you can actually ask it that which customers did I have that said this, or which customers do I have? You can drill down, because information is a lot. So for you as a person, we are talking about our databases more than 10,000 people strong of the people that have bought from us. AI is actually in a lot of places.
Right.
So even in Word now, I think they're trying to put AI there when you're writing something. Yeah, try to help you think and write and write whatever you want to write. So if you give it information, like even the WhatsApp one, I remember the other day I had orders that I needed arranged a certain way. I copied that document and I pasted it in Meta, and then I told it that I want you to arrange this information by date, and then it did that, and then it gave me all the totals. So all these things there are tools that can help a business person work faster. So with AI, you're just trying to find specific places where you can get help. How it helps an entrepreneur is, market research, like in 1 month in Chichaga. You can now actually ask AI, our business in Zimbabwe, can you tell me, what's been happening?
I see bias there.
For local information, it's a bit tricky, but for abroad, because information isusu kunoko inini handizozonyora painternet kuti ndakafuira pa ndakatara ichi pa ndakatraya ichi, but kunana America very open kuti vanototaura kuti inini I try to do this bazvafoira. So what AI does now is goes on the internet, looks at all this information, ningakambochiedza kafwera aya ndo maresults ake uda kuzviedzera kana kuti uda kuita sei but isiri kuona ndaonawo nereasoning yangu zvataura vision kuti there's reasoning behind the machines now. So inini with what I'm saying, if you try go in this direction it might work, but now like we are saying these are machines, so you have to then use your intellectual to see what's good information and what's not.
We're almost
Don't
out of
stop
time.
at the AI. Yeah, you have to do your own work after the AI. You have to fact check. You have to actually also use your brain.
Usati kana AI ataura handijesu watogumigwa ipapa uchaita investigate further again. I'm sad we're almost out of time because we had lots of questions and I wanted to check with you. So how do you guys think you remain competitive? Because clearly Zimbabweans prefer a physical store and we have trust issues. No, I'm kidding. But so how do you make sure that you remain competitive where somebody can't just walk into a florist and buy flowers versus knowing that we can actually just go online and not have to leave my office, do literally everything online without even interacting with Farai or Tai or anyone else from Maro?
I think we've been lucky because we started before, people getting tech savvy. So right now people are coming to us. But like I told you that you need to continuously innovate. So we might be having good years now where people are starting to accept online payment. But there's going to be a decline. Yeah. You have, in any business, don't be comfortable when you're making money.
So only because we've got to catch the news in like 30 seconds. What your parting shot to an entrepreneur who is listening, particularly someone who wants to try an online business?
Keep your costs low. Have a database. Make sure each customer that you serve comes back.
So much to learn, so much to talk about. I hope this has been useful. How do we address physical?
We're on www.marua, that's Marua, the W, .co.zw, or on WhatsApp on 0777 947 560.
And it's 10 o'clock, it's time for the news.